Most people run from silence like it's toxic. They fill every quiet moment with podcasts, music, notifications, anything to avoid being alone with their thoughts. But here's what I discovered after studying centenarians. People who've lived over 100 years. They don't fear silence. They seek it out daily. While we're drowning in the noise of modern life, constantly reacting to the next ping or buzz, these wisdom keepers have mastered something we've completely lost. They've learned power of strategic silence. And today, I'm going to share their simple 3-minute technique that transforms how you make decisions and navigate life's chaos. This isn't meditation or mindfulness fluff. This is a practical tool that cuts through mental noise and gives you clarity when you need it most. Your brain processes 34 gigabytes of information every day. That's like watching 9 hours of high-definition video. Every notification, every decision, every piece of mental chatter adds to this overwhelming load. We've become addicted to noise, and it's keeping us trapped in reactive mode. Instead of strategic thinking, think about your last major decision. Were you calm and clear-headed, or were you juggling 10 different thoughts while your phone buzzed with updates? Most of us make life choices while our minds are spinning like washing machines. We've lost the ability to pause, process, and respond thoughtfully. The elderly have a massive advantage here. They've lived through decades of learning when to listen and when to speak. They've discovered that the most powerful responses often come after moments of intentional quiet. While we're busy reacting to everything, they're taking time to think. Research from neuroscientist Marcus Reichel shows that our brains actually become more active during periods of rest, not less. When we stop feeding our minds constant input, something fascinating happens. The default mode network kicks in, the brain's background processing system that connects ideas, solves problems, and generates insights. But here's the problem. Silence feels uncomfortable because we've trained ourselves to expect constant stimulation. That discomfort isn't weakness. It's actually a signal that growth is happening. Your brain is learning to function without its usual crutches. There's a crucial difference between empty quiet and purposeful silence. Empty quiet is just the absence of noise, sitting in a quiet room while your mind races with worries. Purposeful silence is intentional. It's creating space for something specific to emerge. Most centenarians I've studied don't just stumble into quiet moments. They engineer them. They understand that silence isn't about emptying your mind completely. That's nearly impossible for most people. Instead, it's about creating focused space where your deepest wisdom can surface above the mental chatter. The noise addiction runs deeper than we realize. We've become so used to external validation and constant input that we've forgotten how to trust our own internal compass. Every time we reach for our phone during a quiet moment, we're essentially saying we don't trust ourselves to be alone with our thoughts. But the elderly know something we forgot. The answers we're desperately seeking outside ourselves are often already within us. They just need space to emerge. When you're constantly consuming information, you never give your brain time to process what you already know. This is why successful people throughout history, from Einstein to Jobs, were known for taking long walks or sitting quietly before making major decisions. They understood that breakthrough thinking doesn't happen in the noise. It happens in the spaces between the noise. The 3-minute protocol I'm about to share isn't just theory. It's a practical tool developed from observing how the wisest people on the planet actually think and decide. Here's the exact technique I learned from studying over 100 centenarians. It's deceptively simple, but the impact is profound. 3 minutes, 3 specific steps, and a completely different way of approaching life's challenges. Minute 1. The mental reset. This isn't about clearing your mind completely. That's impossible for most of us. Instead, you're creating space. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and focus on your breathing, not controlling it, just noticing when thoughts pop up, and they will acknowledge them and let them pass. Think of this minute as hitting the reset button on a computer that's been running too many programs. I learned this from Margaret, a 102-year-old former teacher who told me she's used this technique before every important conversation for 60 years. She doesn't try to stop thinking. She just creates a buffer between the chaos of her day and whatever decision she needs to make. Minute 2. The question. This is where the magic happens. Once you've created that mental space, you ask yourself one specific question. What really matters right now? Not what's urgent, not what's demanding your attention, but what actually matters. This question cuts through all the noise and forces you to focus on what's truly important. The key is asking the question and then waiting. Don't rush to answer. Let the question sit in that quiet space you've created. Most of us are so used to immediate responses that we never give our deeper wisdom time to surface. Minute 3. The clarity. This is when you listen, not to the first thought that pops up. That's usually just more mental chatter. You're listening for the answer that emerges from a deeper place. It might come as a feeling, a clear thought, or just a sense of knowing what to do next. Robert, a 98-year-old former CEO, explained it perfectly. He said, "The answer was always there. I just had to get quiet enough to hear it." Nenderbeen Day Aldal. He used this technique before every major business decision and credits it with helping him build a company that lasted 70 years. This isn't meditation in the traditional sense. You're not seeking enlightenment or spiritual connection. This is strategic thinking. You're using silence as a tool to access better decision-making. The difference is crucial because it makes the practice practical for anyone, regardless of their beliefs or background. The biggest mistake people make is expecting immediate results. This isn't a quick fix. It's a skill that develops over time. The first few times you try it, your mind might feel like a tornado. That's normal. The elderly I studied didn't master this overnight. They developed it through years of practice. Another common mistake is making it too complicated. 3 minutes means 3 minutes, not 5. Not 10. The beauty of this technique is its simplicity. You can do it anywhere. In your car, before a meeting. In your office, before a difficult conversation. Or at home, before making a major life decision. Why 3 minutes? Specifically, it's long enough to create real mental space, but short enough that anyone can find the time. Shorter periods don't give your mind enough time to settle. Longer periods often lead to overthinking or falling asleep. The elderly also taught me about timing. This technique works best when you're facing a decision or feeling overwhelmed. It's not a daily meditation practice, though you can use it that way if you want. It's a strategic tool for moments when you need clarity most. Start with the obvious moments before important meetings, difficult conversations, or major decisions. Give yourself those 3 minutes. Don't announce it to anyone. Just step away. Find a quiet space and use the protocol. The best times are right before you need clarity, not after you're already stressed. Think of it as preparation, not recovery. Use it before checking your phone in the morning, before responding to a challenging email, or before walking into a situation. That requires your best thinking. Building this habit doesn't require perfect conditions. You can do this in your car, in a bathroom stall, or even at your desk with your eyes closed. The key is consistency, not location. Start with once a day for a week. Pick a specific trigger, like before lunch or after your commute, and stick to it. You'll know it's working when you notice yourself becoming less reactive. Instead of immediately responding to every situation, you'll find yourself naturally pausing to think first. Your decisions will feel more intentional, less rushed. People might even comment that you seem calmer or more thoughtful. The advanced application comes when you start using this technique not just for big decisions, but for everyday moments. Before responding to your teenager's attitude, before sending that text message, before making any choice that could benefit from a moment of clarity. Some people adapt the technique for different environments. In noisy places, they focus on internal stillness rather than external quiet. Others use IT while walking, combining gentle movement with the mental reset process. The power lies in listening to what emerges from silence, not forcing answers through mental effort. Your 3-minute challenge starts today. Pick one decision you're facing and give it this space first. Subscribe for more wisdom from life's greatest teachers.